Okay guys, let's just kind of get to this and let's just kind of cut to the chase. And originally I wasn't going to do this video, and the reason why I'm doing this video is because literally after episode 4 of Ahsoka dropped and I saw JeremyJahns' review for episode 4 and kind of talking about half the season of Ahsoka so far and his thoughts, it kind of got my brain thinking, kind of getting my wheels turning and gears clicking a bit. So I know I'm not going to be the first to do this, but I wanted to then put my thoughts a little bit together on, I guess, not necessarily agreeing with everybody, but just to put my thoughts into this whole thing about Ahsoka. And that is that. So I know we're already halfway into the season, and spoilers in case if you haven't seen any of the episodes from episode 1 to episode 4, we're going to kind of talk about them a little bit, but we're going to talk about Ahsoka, we're going to talk about probably other things Star Wars related. In case you haven't seen any of these shows or anything that I'm referencing or I'm going to be acknowledging, there will be spoilers still nonetheless, but I just want to at least say that I want to say for the most part, at a point I was enjoying Ahsoka. I mean, we'll say like some of the episodes were kind of like up and down for me. This latest one was pretty good. It's just that I don't know what it is, but there is something with this show. I don't know if it's in the writing, if it's the acting, if it's the characters, something about this. I know. Inconsistency. This show is I'm starting to see its true colors a little bit, and I'm starting to see a little bit of inconsistencies with this show for several reasons. Some good, some bad, some ugly, and some other stuff we're going to go into. These aspects and points I might bring up if I ever and when I ever get the opportunity to review the show as a whole, but this is just my thoughts right now, and that is the inconsistency a little bit. So one inconsistency with this show is that this is basically, as everyone's calling it, Star Wars Rebels Season 5. And that's good, but that's kind of also bad. It's good because for us fans that like the TV shows that Dave Filoni has produced and directed, things like Star Wars The Clone Wars, Star Wars Rebels, we don't need a reintroduction to these characters because we already know who these people are. But the problem is that's bad because now it's going to be confusing for anyone that is very new to Star Wars live action TV shows and has not seen a single season of any of those animated TV shows. So if you're a person that just has watched the movies and you've never seen any of the TV shows and you're first seeing people like Hera and reference to Grand Admiral Thrawn, who's Grand Admiral Thrawn, and all this other stuff to some of you people, you're not going to know jack squat of who these characters are. You might know Ahsoka because of Mandalorian Season 2, but that's it. And there's going to be all this other talks that it's just going to be confusing to regular viewers and regular, like, just casual goers or just regular Star Wars movie fans that just don't watch the TV shows because the TV shows aren't that popular compared to the movies. They should be, and I'm not saying that anyone that doesn't see those shows, what are you doing in your life? It's more like they are shows that are really phenomenal, fantastic, but it's just some people who just don't really do the cartoons. Like, literally, this is funny that I'm saying it this way, but my father-in-law literally saw at one point before the TV show aired, the promo for Ahsoka, he looked at this character and went, "Who is this?" And I was like, "She's from the cartoons." Well, why are they introducing her from the cartoons? It's a little confusing for him. But my point I'm making is it's going to be confusing for people that don't know the TV shows. So that's one inconsistency. The second inconsistency is the New Republic. And I will say that I will argue this because I kind of understand and kind of like that the New Republic is portrayed this way, because so far the New Republic has shown their colors and has shown their ground and shown that they just are kind of in the sidelines in the background, kind of like, we don't want anything involved with the war, we just want peace, we don't want any like conflicts or any issues, so we're just gonna stay back here away from everything as much as possible, which kind of makes a little sense. I kind of like that because it then starts to spark the rebellion, which then we get the rise of the resistance. It kind of does add up. And even in The Last Jedi, Laura Dern's character was from the New Republic, trying to tell the Resistance that, hey, let's step back and stay away from the First Order. And Poe Dameron, of course, was resisting and trying to inspire and spark that, hey, we need to do our job. I know you're doing your job, but we need to do ours. And that's what's kind of going on here. That's because the show is before the First Order and the Resistance and all those characters that we see later on in the sequel trilogy. The bad thing behind this argument that I'm going to counter is that this is good but bad is the fact that because they're sitting there doing nothing, then means that they're not doing anything about any Empire Imperial cells, and the First Order is going to rise. Which that adds to the argument that, yeah, I kind of like that they're doing that. Which adds more to my argument that I like that they are not taking any precautions to doing anything, forcing and motivating the Resistance to rise because the First Order is rising. Whether it's because of Grand Admiral Thrawn or because these First Order people are kind of almost considered like the terrorists of the galaxy. But the bad quality to that is in The Force Awakens, we see how devastating it is that Starkiller Base demolishes Coruscant. All those people from the New Republic, we were like, oh my gosh, that's the last thing of the Republic that ever existed in the galaxy. Now it kind of, because we're seeing this show and we're seeing they hide their tails between their legs, this means that who cares about the New Republic? If they're gonna die, let them die, kind of in a way, because they didn't do jack shit about the First Order in the first place, so let them burn as kind of how it's almost being portrayed, and that's kind of the other issue. And the biggest kind of inconsistency is, yes, Grand Admiral Thrawn's making his return, his big arrival, his big return. And you have Ahsoka, Hera, and Sabine trying to stop him, and maybe a few Rebel fleet pilots, and that's it, because the New Republic's not going to supply them with the materials that they need. They're just going to give them, we're just not going to really bother. We'll just let you guys handle it on your own. We won't give you any supplies, any technology, any minerals, any materials that we've collected from you guys away from the rebellion, and we're just going to hold it to ourselves. So you guys, good luck with that. Good luck with what you guys are doing. Great job. You're doing great. You know, like that's the approach. But the biggest thing that's bugging me is you have only a very few people, I get, that are trying to stop Grand Admiral Thrawn. But however, you think a certain trio would be called up saying, hey, we need some help from the rebellion to take on Admiral Thrawn, who could be the greatest threat to the known galaxy right now since the Emperor and since Vader. And I get it, that Disney doesn't want to recast Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, and Princess Leia, but clearly they didn't care when they made Solo, so why not use someone like Alden Ehrenreich to be Han Solo again? Give him a redemption and give him a actual moment where he feels like Han Solo, because a lot of people didn't like Solo because Alden Ehrenreich didn't feel like Han Solo. Make him feel like Han Solo and give him a redemption and a second chance to play this character. Also with my argument is that at this point I really don't care if they recast or get young actors to play younger versions of those characters, because as much as it'd be great to basically, because with Disney has almost mastered de-aging technology, we could basically have Harrison Ford and Mark Hamill be in those scenes and be a young Luke and a young Han Solo. But the thing is, in my dreamed reality, I would have loved if it was Harrison Ford, Mark Hamill, and Carrie Fisher. So unfortunately, with Carrie being dead, it'd kind of be really weird and awkward to have Mark, Harrison, and some random young actress as the trio. So just get new people, recast or something. Like literally, just get Alden Ehrenreich. Freaking give us Sebastianstan as Luke Skywalker at this point, and someone for Princess Leia, since we're obviously these are now Luke, Leia, Han that are after Return of the Jedi, so they're definitely a little bit older. So give us that. And the worst part is that Ahsoka already knows Luke Skywalker. They've talked to one another, and they've supposedly been rebuilding the Jedi Order and restoring the Jedi as a whole. So why hasn't she gotten and picked up a hologram and said, Luke, I need help ASAP, Thrawn's coming? And it'd be so fitting because these three have fought Thrawn in the Heir to the Empire books. Shout out to the Heir to the Empire books, and shout out to Timothy Zahn. But still, how cool would that be? And I get it, these three characters would overshadow our main titled character. But this could be, you don't even have to have them in the entire show. This could be your endgame moment. I mean, hell, Disney was not shy to make a endgame moment in The Rise of Skywalker with all those ships coming in to help Poe Dameron at the last second. If you want to do an endgame moment, here's the opportunity. Episode 8 or Episode 7, have some sort of moment where Luke, Han, Leia, and maybe a few people and rebels show up, and you have at least a decent squadron to help take down Admiral Thrawn one way or another. Even if this means this is the demise of Ahsoka, the demise of Thrawn, or the demise of both characters, don't care how this ends. The point is that at least there's consistency. There's people in the galaxy, in this universe, that you could utilize, and they're kind of being unutilized. And just, that's pretty much all I can think of. I will at least say this. It sounds like I'm really against this show entirely. It's just there's so much inconsistency, and I can't help but repeat myself about that because now it's like almost in my brain. I can't help but think that now, and it's got my gears turning, and it would just make so much sense. And don't get me wrong, I love that Hayden made an appearance. I love that he's back. I love that he's made a return. I'm glad he's kind of wanting to do more Star Wars stuff. My only big issue is that I don't want any more Vader. We don't need any more Vader. I feel like every time we see Vader, it's like, this will be the last time we see Vader. No. This will be the last time we see Vader. No. This will be the last time we see Vader. And I love Vader. I love Darth Vader. He's my favorite movie villain of all time. So I am fully 100% all for if we see Vader. But my biggest issue is at the same time is that he's so used so much that it just kind of feels like too much. I know sometimes too little is too much and too much is too little, or whatever you want to argument you want to make for it, but it's just, we don't need any more Vader. I don't want episode 5 to be a thing where Anakin isn't Anakin and he winds up being Darth Vader or something. Like, give us maybe a nice sentimental moment in episode 5 where Anakin is approaching Ahsoka through, I forget what that timeline is even called, but like the end of time. It's like literally kind of like purgatory. It's basically a purgatory area with Ahsoka and Anakin. Maybe have them talk to one another, have a nice sentimental moment. Maybe Anakin look at Ahsoka and go, you do know my son exists, right? You do know that you could call him up. He could help you take on Admiral Thrawn. Get some help, Ahsoka. I mean, what's wrong with you, Snips? Not give her a lecture, but give her a little sense. I don't know. Give this TV show a sense. Give this series a bit of sense and consistency that, hey, you know my son. I've seen you too. The way you interact. Maybe give him a call, and maybe he can help. I mean, hell, he appeared in Mandalorian Season 2, so why not have him appear in this show? It's not like he overshadowed those characters. And by God, speaking of the Mandalorian, you can get Mando to show up in this show. If you really need your Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau characters in the same universe, and away from everybody else, use Mando, use Bo-Katan, use some of those characters. Get Zeb Orellis. I feel like there's so many things there. There's so many holes. It's like Swiss cheese almost at this point. Don't even get me started on that mystery Inquisitor, because we'll talk about him. You know what? We'll talk about him another time. But what have your thoughts been on this Ahsoka series? Do you guys like it? I'm trying to say I enjoy it, but the thing is, it's not fully great, but it's not fully bad. It's kind of like very much in the middle of the moment. Episode 1 was fine. Episode 2 was kind of okay. 3 was okay. 4 actually was genuinely good. So I just hope that it's going to be a bit of consistency, and maybe these episodes going forward will be a little better. Maybe have more substance to them, or something worth going, wow, this actually was a really good moment, or something we'll remember with this show that people will still be talking. Because this show is not really being talked about. What's being talked about is still the original trilogy. The prequels are getting so much love. Hell, we're at the point in time that people are actually considering the sequels might actually get some love, which is so weird because no one's really loved the sequel trilogy until now. You could say it's because of Disney and all this other stuff going on, and kind of in a way. And Mandalorian still being talked about. So I'm not that I'm expecting this show to be something worth talking about, but I want this to at least have some sort of impact, or something that's good. something that we can all be like, whoa, that was really a great thing that happened here, or like conversation starting and things with like almost the same level of Star Wars Rebels and Star Wars The Clone Wars. But let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please smash the like button. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. I do awesome videos every day, every week. Make sure you ring that bell. I do new videos every week. Share the video with your favorite friends, all the good stuff, and more. Leave some suggestions in the comment section. You name it, I'll look into it as best as possible. I'm not sure when this will be uploaded. I'm hoping this can get uploaded sometime maybe tonight. So I'm recording this at Monday. And if this doesn't, probably Tuesday or Wednesday, sometime during the week while I'm busy with work. And then I have something maybe specially planned for this coming weekend. Don't know yet. We will see. I will actually see, if I'm being honest. And then Monday, look out for streams. And then Tuesday is my birthday. And also the other stuff to look out for. Shorts will be scheduled, and there'll be other stuff afterwards. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.